Tell me, how often have you heard about the importance of focusing on just one thing in life? Otherwise, your attention will be split and you'll end up failing. I don't know about you, but all those life experts telling me this drove me crazy for years. Oh no, wait, even decades. I am a very versatile person and love being interested in multiple things, trying out as much as I can in life so that I don't end up with regrets. For more than a decade, I've had the conflict in my head about being passionate about two things: interior design and art. I'm in love with both and I can't just decide on one and stick to it for the rest of my life. But society kept telling me, no, you can't do this. Spoiler alert, watch me. I can. And in this video, I'd like to talk about exactly this topic using examples of iconic artists who did multiple things at the same time but still gained recognition in their field. And here's a very important thing to keep in mind. While I'm against focusing on just one thing, there should still be something that connects all of your passions and makes you unique instead of you not knowing what to do with your life and trying out so many things that you end up with nothing and you're simply indecisive, because there is definitely a thin line between these two. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome to my fabulous world of digital design, art, style, and creative entrepreneurship where everything peacefully coexists. I'd like to say something right from the start. The real problem is in our heads. We waste so much time and energy analyzing something, asking others for advice, searching for the easiest way out, only to end up doing nothing. And now think about all the time you spent on analysis paralysis and all that, and imagine how much you could have done instead. Yes, I'm getting depressed just by thinking about it. I used to be a fan of overanalyzing my life, struggling with choices for days, weeks, months, and even years, only to end up again doing nothing. Because as we know, analysis paralysis doesn't lead to any substantial results. Eventually, I grew tired of the endless dilemma of the two, as I simply didn't have time for that nonsense any longer. So now they peacefully coexist and even complement each other, as seen in this project. But enough about me. Today, I want to talk about two artists who have proven that evolving, having no boundaries, and blending multiple passions together is actually what will make us stand out. David Hockney caught my attention back in 2017 in an art and design magazine when one of the French renowned interior designers mentioned him as her favorite artist because of his fearless use of color, expressive paintings, and experiments. And you know what? She was right, because this is exactly why I fell in love with his art too. He seamlessly transitions between different mediums, not focusing on just one thing for his entire life. His mediums included paintings and drawings, photography, printmaking, stage design, and digital art. So what makes him special? I'd say the ability to adapt, innovate, and experiment with different media and colors, not sticking to a single style. It's gotten so dark. I mean, it's only 3 p.m. Welcome to the German summer. Okay, anyway, let's get back to our video. I wanted to show you a couple of drawings created by David Hockney on his iPad. So I'm going to record my screen so that you can also follow my explanations, and let's go. So here on the screen, you're seeing a couple of his examples, and I'm now going to open the folder with his iPad drawings. And by the way, this is what I do too. I draw and design on my iPad different types of spaces. And by the way, this is a genius tool for every project type, whether you're an illustrator, designer, or an architect. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. I just really wanted to mention it. Anyway, just look at his drawings. He doesn't try to recreate realism. Instead, he sets his imagination and ideas free and experiments with colors, textures, strokes. I mean, just look at all these drawings. Wow. And now let's take a look at his iPhone drawings. The folder is called Digital Works, iPhone. Here it is. Awesome. I haven't tried drawing on my iPad, but on my iPhone, by the way. Have you? So, stunning. This type of art I'd like to hang on the wall and not all those realistic images, you know, but everyone is different. Anyway, the site is called hockney.com. If you'd like to continue exploring his work, this is the site to visit. And now let's move on to our next topic. Let's browse through one of the books about his work and let's soak up every detail and color and get inspired by his fearless and colorful vision. By the way, these are my paintings inspired by his work. And now onto Andy Warhol, a leading figure in the pop-up movement. The Factory, Campbell's soup cans, his series of silkscreen paintings of Marilyn Monroe. Who never heard about his works? And if you take a look at this book, you'll see the variety, uniqueness, boldness, banality, and controversialism of his work. And of course, I couldn't help but mention some of his quotes which encourage creatives to create despite all odds. But why should I be original? Why can't I be original? Well, what do you love most? That's how I started painting money. Always pretty. Anybody can do what I do. My mind is like a tape recorder with one button, erase. Commercial illustrator, media entrepreneur, photographer, printmaker, filmmaker, magazine editor, author, and fine artist. Can you actually imagine Andy Warhol sticking to just one medium throughout his life? Me neither. And I don't think the world would have known him had he stick to just one medium forever. You know, to me, being interested in many things and trying them out actually leads to the full development of our imagination and full understanding of what we want in life and what we don't. Sticking to just one thing our entire lives will not only limit our life outlook, ideas, personal growth, adaptability and resilience, creativity and opportunities, but we'll also simply get bored, right? And we don't want to get bored in life, do we? There were times, and sometimes still are, when I just focus on just one thing for days, whether it is interior design, still life drawing, or abstract painting. But then my brain starts feeling like it's in a cage and wants diversity. And now the funny and important thing. When I juggle with my multiple passions, I feel the connection between them and see how they actually complement each other perfectly. For instance, I add chaotic abstract strokes to my interiors, making them stand out and turning them into a masterpiece. And in contrast, my knowledge in style and color perfectly complements my abstract art. One more example I really wanted to share with you before ending this video. In one of my favorite podcasts, The Mindset Mentor, I heard an excellent example of today's video topic, so all the credit to them. That example included Jared Leto being asked how he manages to be a fantastic singer and actor at the same time. Apologies, I don't remember the exact words, so I'll paraphrase. And you know what he answered? That hit me hard. I just started. Which brought him ahead of 90% of all people. No effort is required to give advice, judge, or spread negativity, literally none. And that's why there are so many people and experts out there thinking they know it all. But how about actually doing something for those people? And that's why next time when you hear discouraging advice, keep that in mind. Because following your dreams, having ambitious goals and working towards them isn't easy, and it does involve risk, disappointment, resilience, and discomfort. But you know what? It is all so exciting at the same time, because you never know which kind of opportunity you're going to have, which kind of people you're going to meet, and where this experience will actually bring you. So do what feels right for you and don't end up living with regrets. See you in the next video.